Good morning, everybody.
Hello, we are so sorry for the technical difficulties. I think we both agree that with everyone being at home and on the internet, it's slowing down.
It's crazy. And I swear Mercury must be in retrograde because it does affect technology. But then when you think about all the frequencies going on and all this craziness.
All we can do is roll with it, guys. So, as promised, we are live on Zoom, and we will post this on social media so everyone can get the benefit of it. But welcome to Nicole and Shellie.
Coffee, tea, and you and us.
You and us, you and me, and you and Shellie. Woo!
Yeah. Woo!
All right, guys. Go for it.
Okay, so I'm going to start then. I'm Shellie Carter. I'm owner and founder of Alder Healing Center here in beautiful Lombard. And we offer holistic health here for the body, mind, and the spirit. And I've been in practice for over 22 years, working with people globally across the world. And hopefully every day making a positive impact in everything I do, in the way that I do it, and how it impacts you. And I'm excited that Nicole and I are actually here today to be able to talk about some of the things a lot of us are dealing with. So this is Nicole Brown. Yay!
All right. So those of you that have been following me for a long time know that I left Illinois to come to New Mexico as a form of healing for myself. I know my mom's super sad. She's really sad. But you know, I came out here for healing. The VA, for those of you that don't know what VA is, that's Veteran Affairs. Their hospital out here has a program for PTSD that we didn't have back in Illinois. And they're a lot more friendlier out here. So I came out here for healing. And I've accomplished that to a certain level of degree. There's no really full healing from PTSD, but there are a lot of coping mechanisms and techniques. So with that, I am also a case manager for a non-for-profit out here for veterans experiencing homelessness. And I'm currently writing a book called Walking with Illness, going through what an individual like myself goes through on a daily basis, managing and dealing with PTSD symptoms and the highs and the lows. And I hope to have that out by September-ish. And
September of 2020, 2021, 2020.
2020. So the goal, since I'm working from home, is to have it done and in editing by May 1st, since that's probably when we're going back to work. And I've also done a handful of speeches on mental wellness, offering coping mechanisms and techniques and information to loved ones on what's best served me. So you can take what's good for you and discard what's not good for you, because what works for me will not work for everybody. So just throwing that out there.
So what we do want to do is make this a safe environment, a safe place for everybody. So we do ask, really, we want your feedback and we want your comments and we want to know what you're dealing with and what questions might you have, because each show that we do will build on from the prior show. And so did I miss anything with that, Nicole? I think just so we can keep it all positive, if you have positive, encouraging words you want to share, you just want to do a thumbs up or a heart or a shout out, you know, please feel free to do that. And we look forward to hearing from everybody.
We just want to reiterate, we want this a safe space. We want people to be able to be authentic with what they're going through, and you never want to discard what somebody else is going through. Yes, we're all in the same situation, we're all in quarantine, but everyone handles a situation differently. So do not want anybody, no negative comments. You will be removed instantly from both mine and Shellie's page. Okay.
Shall we move forward, Nicole?
Coffee. This is my second cup.
Coffee with protein. Woo!
My Gryffindor water bottle, because apparently I tested Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
That's a Harry Potter term.
No comment.
Okay, my work is like, well, my team at work is extreme Harry Potter. So I was requested to take what house I'm in. Second door, I'm Slytherin. There's like a 7% difference.
Okie
But
dokie.
so up front, I just want to offer some mental health statistics. According to the WHO, which is the World Health Organization, depression is the leading cause of disability worldwide, not just here in America, but worldwide. As a matter of fact, 79% of suicides happen worldwide. Okay. And the WHO's commitment was to decrease that by 10% by this year. And with current situations, I'm not quite sure how that's happening. And those who are dying by suicide right now, it's been reported that they're still associating it with the current situation. And they're
So
not.
can we just call it the C?
We'll call it the C because we don't want to put negative energy out there. But it is what it is. We're in this situation, which is why we're having this discussion.
Right.
So with that, in America, 47.6 million Americans suffer from a form of mental illness in a given year. That's 1 in 4 adults and 1 in 5 children from the age of 9 through 17.
Yeah.
That is astronomical. Okay. So, and this is according to the WHO, this is according to healthypeople.gov and NAMI.org. So all of these statistics, you can look them up on any of these websites. This is not made up information.
And just so you guys know, NAMI is one of my favorite sources for information and resource and support and things like that.
Yeah. So with the 1 in 4, that includes something as simple as ADHD, anxiety, things like that. 1 in 17 actually suffer from a severe mental illness such as psychosis, schizophrenia, bipolar, things of that nature, PTSD, which is now transitioning to PTSI because it is a brain injury where the shrinkage of the hippocampus occurs within the brain because of extended exposure to trauma. So, yeah.
How much of this would you say would be you've been born into this, and how much of this would you say has been due to the environmental changes, due to the toxins in the air and all the chemicals that are released, whether it be an herbicide, pesticide, insecticide, maybe through sports injuries? What would you say, Nicole?
So in regards to being born into it, we all have a different family dynamic, and parents are not perfect, as we all know, and we all experience different things. We all have different beliefs as to what's appropriate and what's inappropriate. And you can have a brother and sister who were raised in the same household with the same dynamics, and one could experience a form of mental illness because of how they were raised, and the other could be perfectly fine. And that's because we're all wired differently. So, you know.
Well, on the other side of that, there's been tests and studies that have done on umbilical cords from babies when they're born, where now in today's age, babies coming into this world are no longer pristine. They have over 700 different heavy metals or chemicals in their system. And as we see like the birth rate going on and wondering why kids are now having adult diseases, and they started doing studies, well, why is this? And then you look at how our food chain has been, and just the whole world in general, there's a profound effect on the body and how the body processes toxins, and all that stuff also has an effect on the brain and how things are going to go.
So I'm going to let you take over for a moment because my manager's calling.
Okay. So, you know, we were talking about the C virus and all of that. And my sister and I growing up, we used to put on plays in the neighborhoods. And so this one play we came up with, we would do these mini advertisements, and it would go something like this. And some of you who are about my age may remember this. It's when you're dancing with your honey and your nose is very runny and you think it's very funny, but it's not. And then they come out with the Kleenex tissues. And so, you know, there's some people that still are not recognizing the social distance. And it was said, I was talking to a client on the phone the other day, and she's like, do you realize when people sneeze, it covers 8 feet across the room from where they're at? And so just think, like, even if you're sneezing in your elbow and it's still kind of spraying out there, it's not, or in your hands, it's not like it's just there, but it sprays out. So, you know, it is important to be wearing masks, and it is important to be making sure you're having that social distance. Sneezing or not sneezing, it's still in the air. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is your nasal passages, because sometimes people think is, oh, my nose is just my nose and it just goes down and it drains in. And your nose, your nose, and then there's your sinus cavity, which is quite large. So there's a lot of different bacteria that can just actually sit in that space and cause a lot of health issues. So some of the things that I have done, because I've had respiratory issues since I was little, for those of you that didn't know that, my mom used to have my crib up on an incline so I can actually sleep at night. So that's been an ongoing issue I've always had with chronic bronchitis almost every year of my life. And then lately, I've had 4 bouts of pneumonia now. The interesting is last year, I was sick for 2 months with it, which was horrible. It's been a long journey getting my health back and being back on track and feeling better, but having a better understanding of the sinus cavity and how that works, and making sure now we're coming out of winter where we're going to start turning our heaters off. But it's important to keep those nasal passages moist. And so I actually created a nasal spray with a colloidal silver, and I put some lavender in there that I spray in just to keep things moist, keep things healthy, keep things clean. And I'll use my neti pot to clear things through. But every single night, always, I'm running my vaporizer just to make sure everything stays moist as much as possible. Now, eyes, nose, mouth, all the way through anus is one big pipeline. It is all connected. So when there are nasal issues going on, just consider there may be some gut issues going on. So you may want to think about your diet and what you're putting in your body and how you're feeling and what's going on in that particular way. I work with Nature Sunshine products that a lot of you are aware of. And on my site, you can find a link to go to their products. They have over 500 in their line. And they have a cleanse called Clean Start. We're coming into spring, and I'm a big fan of cleansing spring and in the fall. The Clean Start cleanse is my favorite. It comes in apple, cinnamon, and wild berry. And it actually tastes pretty good. So it comes in a sachet packet with 3 capsules you take twice a day. You eat while you're on the program. You just really want to work on eating as healthy as possible. And so, let's see, what else can I tell you? Mental illness. So I grew up in a household where my mom was always struggling in that area. And I don't think back then there was the type of help that there is today. And so, and a lot of the signs that I would talk about, I'm sure you all are familiar with, and that would be maybe anger outbursts. One moment they're happy, the next moment they're sad. Maybe getting physically, where they physically hurt other people, or verbally are constantly hurting other people. Drinking, drugs, and there could be a host of reasons. And I feel like our job is to protect those that are out there, so they can find a safe place to go to, whether it's a shelter or go find someone that they can actually talk to that would be a safe place for them. Nicole?
So on the shelter comment, the shelters are actually locked down right now, at least in my state. I,
Yeah,
I ha- I have some veterans that can't, they're on the streets right now because they can't get in.
that's probably with a lot of people. But my thought is with the shelters, you can at least call them and have somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
And they may have a reference because or a referral place or some kind of place that you can go. I don't know if
For
you heard the whole conversation though, Nicole.
I was on the phone with my manager, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
But what I had communicated was that we would post references and referrals for both the New Mexico and for Chicagoland,
Yeah.
because there's a lot for veterans, there's a lot for people experiencing homelessness. So and I have those resources that I can post.
Yeah, my girlfriend also sent me a link for people who don't have money right now for food because I know a lot of people have lost jobs or have been laid off. And Fenton High School is actually giving out sandwiches, Nicole.
Well, all of the schools out here are providing breakfast and lunch for all of the children in the state.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's like a drive-by. You just go and pick up. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I mean, it's great, especially because where I'm at, we're in one of the poorest areas in the nation. So
Well, one of the biggest concerns that I've heard from my clients, and I have a lot of teachers as clients, is what are the kids going to do? Because a lot of children, a lot of kids go to school so they can at least get one meal a day because they're fed their breakfast. So with the schools closing down, it's like, how are they managing that and how are they taking care of the kids? So I just really love that this program is in place so they can at least still get food and something to eat.
yeah, and then there is SNAP benefits, which I know I told you about yesterday. For
Mhm.
those who have lost their job or been laid off, one, unemployment for our state, you have to apply every week, even if you've not approved yet. So it's quite frustrating and it's a lengthy process because they're being inundated right now with
Mhm.
everything. And I
Well,
can't even
why do you have to
imagine.
apply every week? That doesn't make sense to me.
Welcome to the government. So yeah, because no one's going anywhere till May. So I don't know. I don't know why that's the protocol, but you can apply online. Actually, everything's online right now,
Mhm.
as well as mental health for veterans. You can do all of that online. For Chicagoland, it's Hines Hospital. And then for here in New Mexico, it's the Raymond G Center. So there's that. You can also apply for SNAP benefits. You just type in SNAP, SNAP, Supplemental Nutritional Something Program, and type in your state, and it will populate for you. So for families, it's not much, especially in Illinois, but it's enough to at least get the necessities,
Yeah.
frozen vegetables, meats, noodles, things of that nature. So enough
Yeah.
for necessities.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, because even my business has been impacted since we we are very much hands-on and don't have a 6 foot rule. Well, there is a 6 foot rule, but we cannot adhere to that. So some of the services we can offer, we're doing virtually, like Reiki and healing touch and nutritional support and things like that. But in terms of colon hydrotherapy and the reflexology, 6 foot rule can't apply there. So unfortunately, we can't see people in the center,
Yeah,
and which makes it tough. Makes it
it's
tough.
been very
So,
difficult for us as well because as case managers, we have to be interactive with our clients, especially because many of our clients are actually experiencing homelessness. They don't have a phone, they don't have an email, they don't even know how to work an email. And that's something that we work with them with on top of resume building and interview skills. So
mhm.
communicating in this way is very difficult for my particular department because we need that face-to-face contact because they
Yeah,
don't have those resources. And it's very difficult when you're very passionate about preventing different circumstances.
yeah, yeah. And you've done a lot of work even prior to moving to New Mexico with certain times of the year, bringing food out to those that were on the street and just helping out in different ways. So
Yeah.
um, it's just been really, as a mom, really cool to watch you step into what you're passionate about and what you care most about. So, you know, it was funny because I was talking to Auntie Debbie the other day, right? That's my sister, of course. And she's like, hey, Shell. And I'm like, what? She's like, you're over 60, you're 62. And I'm like,
I
you
thought you were
want
64.
that? No, don't make me any older than I am, please.
Crushing it.
So, so I'm like, your point. And she says, well, you know, you can apply for Social Security earlier than having to wait till the normal time. And she says, so then at least you can get something. So I'm sharing this with you folks because some of you may be thinking, or maybe not have even thought about that as an option. And I keep thinking, it's like, okay, I'm not going to ever get to retirement age. I'm just going to keep going. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
the reality is I'm there. And so I just thought, oh, that's a resource I hadn't thought about, because I figured, okay, I'm not 65 yet, or I'm not at that certain age yet, but you can do it early for those of you that wasn't aware of it. So I just told on myself. Do you know that?
I do. But I just want you to know that means I'm like 24 years behind you. So although Jazzy gets mad because people tell us we look like sisters, so
Yeah,
I'll
well,
take it.
that's okay. Yeah, we'll take it. Well, my grandma, I always thought she was 30 years younger than she looked. So I figured, well, I'm going to look younger forever. So I'll just take up where she left off.
That's why I'm staying in shape and eating right, which is very important for mental health and wellness. Yeah.
So I did talk a little bit about the Nature Sunshine products and how important the cleansing is for mental health also. So they do have a CBD line. It was kicked off probably about 8 months ago. They have 2 new products out because their first 4 products do have that 0.03 THC in it. This is a 0 THC product. I'm looking to see if I have it on my desk, and no, I don't. So, and then they have a cream, which is really, really nice, that helps with pain and inflammation. And as we're going through these stressful times, we're probably noticing maybe our bodies are aching a little bit more. We're having a little difficult time. Maybe the neck gets stuck, or the arm or the shoulder. So the CBD helps to calm, actually helps, you know, then that hamster gets on that treadmill and you just won't get off. The CBD will help that hamster stop the wheel and actually get off. And if it wants to take a nap, it'll go do that. So I love that about it. Although it doesn't make you tired, but what I do find is that it calms the system down so much. It actually frees you up so you have more energy to get more done. And then for those times you're having aches and pains, the cream is just really, really nice to have. So down below, or you can go to my website.
Up
Or
above
oh.
or down below. However this works, when we post the link, we will have resources and how to
And
contact us.
information and all kinds of fun stuff for y'all. So
And then on that end, I just recently got hooked up with a super app, which is amazing. And I'll do that during our commercial break, but it's got resources to keep you in the positive mindset, to help with the financial structures. I know a lot of people are hurting right now, and not only mentally, but financially and physically, because we can't get out of our head unless you live in a house and you have a land to work out on. So I'll talk about those during our designated commercial breaks. But I'm excited about this app because it gives you so many resources, including savings and yeah. But so where'd you leave off while I was working?
I kind of did my commercial breaker already.
Oh,
So
okay.
so I took advantage of the time that you were gone, talking
Okay.
about Dancing with Your Honey, which my sister and I did together. And your nose is very runny. So always remember to use your tissue. But one of the things I had talked about is when you do sneeze, guess how far it travels?
8 feet.
Oh, you knew that, or did you
8
listen?
feet.
Yeah,
No,
8 feet.
I've known that for years because I thought it was disgusting.
So when you sneeze, they're saying now not to sneeze in your hand because then you're touching other things, but this arm doesn't go so well, but then you sneeze into your shoulder, but then you gotta
It's
make sure
not
you're
dabbing, it's a sneeze protection.
hey.
Okay.
So,
Well,
and just to be responsible, like
yeah.
really be responsible for not just your space, but the space of the people around you.
I honestly feel like my grandchildren are gonna be saying, you guys had to stay in your house because people couldn't wash their hands and cover their mouth? Are you kidding me? Like, this is stuff we learned in kindergarten. This is nothing new. This literally blows my mind, and I've not really posted on it because I know people, have and I'm just sitting here like, y'all, we learned this in pre-K and kindergarten. I've watched my children go through this in pre-K and kindergarten. This is nothing. It's just mind-blowing. And even in a work environment, hearing people say, I saw someone not wash their hands after they used the washroom. I'm like, who was it and who am I not touching? Like, I don't know. I don't know. So since you did your commercial, I'm gonna do mine, and then
Take it away.
Do you want to go into coping skills after that?
Yeah, I think that would be good. So after you do your commercial, I'll talk a little bit about energy work and then turn it over to you for coping mechanisms.
Through cognitive behavioral therapy.
Woohoo!
Okay, guys, so just a few days ago, I got this thing called Life App, and it has all types of resources. And with it, if you go into merchants, you can actually save money while you're earning money, and it's fantastic. I already have 120 trip credits, and I'm coming home soon. As this thing is over, I'm flying home to visit my boyfriend and my mommy. So, just by signing up, I got 120 trip credits. I saved 50% on my hotel room, so I've canceled my booking.com room and have gotten it through the app. So when we are able to socialize again, you just go on the app and it's like a gift card. So it's, Mom, you're a small business owner. This would tremendously help you in so many ways, which is why I wanted you to watch the video, because instead of having all those credit card fees, there's no credit card fees because it's a gift card. So it saves business owners on that 4.5% of however much people are paying with their credit card. And I was like, genius idea, and got to get my mom on board. So not only with that, they have so much positive feedback. And for those of you who are in that entrepreneur mindset or just tired of watching the news, mind blown on the information. Hi, Lois.
Hello.
Mom, this is Lois. I'm actually talking about, this is my commercial about the app. You came in at the perfect time. What?
How did she get on?
Because I gave the link.
Oh, okay. So we can actually see people.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Hi, Lois.
So I just started talking about the app and the merchants and the positive messages. There's 3,000 like different messages on Rascal Radio. It's fantastic. I started listening to them. I've been listening to one a day and taking notes. Lois knows I take a lot of notes.
You take a lot of notes. Your books this thick have notepads that are this thick.
They do. And they have, what am I reading right now? Tabs. I have tabs for everything.
I love it.
So with that, we also, in these hard financial times and crises, there's the financial fitness program that is included in the app. I mean, guys, like really, there's so much amazing things here. And with everyone being concerned about their health, there's two particular products that help with the immune system, the brain, the heart, and that's Zinzino and Muscadine. So, you know, like seriously, if you're interested in this, you're saving money and you have the ability to make residual income, which is why I signed up for this, because I have 3 kids. I'm a single mom and I need to conserve funds right now. I just spent $200 on groceries on Thursday and $160 the week before. Like, I mean, I should have enough for at least 2 weeks now, but I mean, it's a lot of money right now and limited resources. So I've been researching ways to make residual income. And for those who don't know what residual income it's instead of the 45-year plan where you work, and then retire and you can't enjoy your retirement, it's the 2 to 3 year plan. And you just work your tail off until you get there, and then you enjoy, and your money starts working for you while you're sleeping, and you get that rolling while you're working your full-time job. While I'm working a full-time job, raising 3 kids, in school, writing a book, and working on everything else. So, you know, I still have time to fit it in my schedule because it's what's important to me and my kids and their future. So that's the Life app, guys. It's super awesome. It's like a Netflix subscription. It's only $30 a month for so much access. And you think about it, you're paying $12.99 for Netflix, you're paying $13.99 for Amazon Prime, you're paying $9.99 for Spotify. So I mean, really, for the benefit of your future, it is just amazing instead of sitting in front of the TV all the time.
Well, who's doing that these days?
Everyone. So, like I
Time to get off the roller coaster, folks.
Get off and get motivated. Like I posted the other day, I've seen so much negativity and complaints, and I'm like, you know what? Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, 13 of those years isolated, urinating and, you know, defecating in a bucket and showering to cold water. If he can do 13 years of isolation with no internet, minimal food, minimal resources, and come out the way he did and the leader he did, guys, come on, we can hunker down for a month or 2, start focusing on your goals, dreams, and desires, and stop complaining about it. Because the fact of the matter is we are stuck, and you have a choice. Everything in life is a choice. And I've heard some people say, no, it's not a choice, I can't leave. Yeah, yes, you can. It's just a mental state of mind, what you're willing to do, what you're willing to let go of, and just do it. That doesn't mean you're not going to fall back. I fall back all the time. Like I said, you know, I experience PTSD. I have highs, I have lows. And in those lows, I'm in bed, but I'm not complaining. But it's about getting back on the wheel, keeping that momentum going. And there's times where I didn't work on my book for a month, but I knew sometimes your body needs to rest and sometimes your mind needs to rest. So
yeah, so take advantage of this time.
Yeah.
And the one thing I'm encouraging people to do, especially those of you who are alone, have a phone a friend, find a phone a friend, make a phone a friend. Social media, I mean, you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who say they're your friends. Actually find out who is your friend and have that 1 or 2 people that when you're not doing so well, you know, you can just pick up the phone and say, hey, you know, I need a little support here, or I just need someone to talk to. Or because sometimes just doing or making that one act or that one movement can help you move to the next level, or move out of bed and take that shower, make yourself breakfast, or whatever it is.
And play games. My colleague and friend, Mia, she gave me this wonderful idea. They had virtual game night. And I'm like, why didn't I think about this? I have my mom. We have Zoom. We have Facebook Live. We have Google Duo.
Had virtual dinner together on Sunday.
Yeah, virtual dinner. It was beautiful and a lot of laughter, and grandma got to see how the kids are. And, you know, it doesn't take precedence over, hi, Carol. It doesn't take precedence over being face to face and having a hug, but it does boost your energy and just seeing somebody's face, knowing that they're okay. My mom and I have recently experienced someone who actually came down with the sea, and he was given a 40% chance of survival, and the doctor told him he wasn't going to make it through the night. Yeah. And 5 days later, he was on Facebook Live. He was very thin, but he was smiling. He was in good graces, and I just floods of tears.
Actually outside.
Yeah, floods of tears of just joy, because we had so much, you know, everyone has their own belief system. So whether it be a prayer or positive energy or Reiki or the universe or Allah or God, whatever you want to call it, it's just praying for the world and praying for people in general to just have a healing. And 5 days later, he was on Facebook Live. He was smiling and I was sobbing. And, you know, I've only met him twice, but in those 2 times I've spent over a week compacted with him as a mentor. So it was very emotional. But
I was reading an article the other day, a doctor had written, and who's actually a bioenergetic scientist, and he was talking about the energy of the heart is the strongest energy force that there is. And they actually have created a device to see, because our energy field is generally about 3 feet out from us. So when we're doing energy, a lot of people are working within that field. But what they have actually been able to trace is the energy of the heart, wherever that energy space is, actually reaches around the globe. And they can actually track that. So when you're thinking, whatever it is you're thinking, positive or negative, guess what? It's impacting everyone, everything, all the time. So it's really important that I feel when we get up in the morning, what's the first thing we do? What's the first thing we think about? How do we set our day? Because what we do in the morning really does make a difference for how that day is going to go. And then, so that way you're creating in the space of, like, I know Nicole's been listening to
Abraham Hicks.
Abraham Hicks also,
Abraham
and
Hicks.
I have some other prayers and meditations I do, and that's how I start my day. And not that I don't have those moments where I get into a funk or things are tough and hard. It's like I just go back to, okay, what did I do this morning? What are those words that I heard that were encouraging to help keep me going in the space of, you know, everything that's happening?
Well, I find that spending time in appreciation, you know, I've been reading Abraham's book, and shifting the gratitude, not just saying that gratitude isn't helpful, but shifting it to appreciation, because gratitude puts a multitude of energies out there, but appreciation. And I find myself just sobbing, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing this in fear or if I'm in vibration, but, you know, just saying everything that I appreciate, and it just rolls and rolls and rolls. But you know, I know we're talking about positive energy and all that, but I did want to offer some coping skills and mechanisms, because we've been going for about 40 minutes now.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I know. I can't wait for the next one. So one of the things I came out here for healing was with my experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder, post-traumatic stress injury. As we stated before, it's the shrinkage of the hippocampus, as well as other areas of the frontal lobe, and it starts with the A, and I can't remember right now, but there's 3 areas in what?
Your amygdala?
Yes, that one. Those 3 areas that process emotions are affected when you experience constant trauma. So one of the things I wanted to go over was, with the doctor, we went over stuck points and my belief patterns. So the stuck point, and I'm going to walk you guys through mine and encourage you to do the same thing. So this is week 7, because we're just going to jump around. I picked what I thought was most beneficial for today. So
Gotcha.
My belief was that I push everyone away to prevent being hurt. Now, what we focused on was the word everyone. Do I really push everyone away? I don't push my children away. I don't push my boyfriend away. I don't push my mom away. So we really broke things down into steps, is to really taking words that I'm speaking, and is that how I'm really feeling? So then it goes into what is the evidence for or against this stuck point. So for 4, I protect myself. I only text, I don't do phone calls. And for those of you that know me very well, you know that is a very true statement. I will avoid a phone call at all costs. I will shoot a text message, no problem, because for me, then you can't hear my voice, you can't hear my tone fluctuations,
Or how you're doing.
yeah, you can't see or hear how I'm doing. And I can just say, I'm doing great, how are you? And meanwhile, I'm in bed sobbing my eyes out and I'm not okay. So yes, I'm an avoider in that way, shape, or form. And I'm sure some of you can relate to that. So yeah, I typically don't go out. Now, my personal goal for 2020 has been to visit a different state every month. Obviously, that's not happening in this month. But for January, I went to Texas. For February, I went to Vegas. And for March, I don't know what I did in March. Oh, that's when the C word started. So I didn't get to go. I was supposed to be
And you're
going.
not going next month either.
What?
Or this month is April. You're not going anywhere April either.
No, I'm not. I was supposed to be coming home for April and seeing my mama and my boyfriend, but I had to push that back to May. So this all better be over by then. So, and then for against it was, I lose potential for great friends and relationships because I relate everything back to being violated. So that was my against for my stuck point and why I believe that. And then what the doctor wrote was I hung out with a coworker because I went and shot pool with a coworker. I moved to New Mexico to be closer to my friends to kind of assist in this area for me and kind of guide me through this and lead me to the VA hospital. So is your stuck point habit or based on facts? I put habit because there's no factual basis for me to stay in my little hole. In what ways is your stuck point not including all of the information? My response is it is not others' fault for what happened to me in my past, and I need to give them opportunities to show that there are still genuine people out there. Does your stuck point include all or none terms? So push away, prevent, everyone. So taking those words that mean something as a whole instead of a specific situation. Does the stuck point include words or phrases that are extreme or exaggerated? Yes.
Yes.
Extreme is I push everyone away, and exaggerated is I push everyone away. Because I don't. And I'm very open with what has happened to me. I'm very open with being an advocate for mental health and wellness. I'm very open about just being an advocate in general for those who haven't found their voice yet. So.
And I'm going to interject here too, because when someone's been through a lot of traumas or in however way that happened, it's a journey. This isn't an overnight experience. This is a journey. And some people's journeys are longer than others. Some people's are shorter than others. You'll feel like you go 2 steps ahead and then you feel like you're going 10 steps backwards. And so, you know, I think that's part of like what we were talking about earlier. It's that the patience and the journey of, you know, there's the waves you go through and just being consistent. And I tell my clients, sometimes even one baby toe step forward can make a whole difference in how your day will go. And what were you gonna say?
That up and down wave, I had when I first moved out here and got the position at Ninja Park, I had been asked to hang out with 5 different occasions, and every occasion I was like, no, I don't think so. I don't know you guys. And I just really came home and said to myself, it took me 4 months, and I've only been here 8 months. It took me 4 months to start actually getting out of my shell and hanging out with people. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a process.
That retraction and recluseness is very real.
Yeah. So I think we need to get to the point where we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
So what else you got for us?
So I'll go to the last one, which is, in what ways is this stuck point focused on unrelated parts of the story? And I wrote, we need human compassion. Love, joy, laughter. And that can't happen if we're pushing people away.
Yeah.
And that's something we need more now than ever.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
So, yeah, we've been on for a long time.
So thank you for being authentic in your sharing and your feelings and what you've been through, and just what you've seen other people go through, and for being that support for them, but also taking on that for yourself. And because that'll make the skies a lot brighter and the stars a lot sparklier. And I wasn't expecting this. So there's that song that comes to my mind that I used to sing to you. You are my sunshine.
And I sing it to Jazzy.
So for those of you that don't know the song, I am not going to sing it now, but you can look it up on YouTube.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. I only know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
So I want to thank everyone for joining. Thank you. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. And
we will be back next week.
We will be back next week.
Hopefully on Facebook Live. We will, I don't know what's going on, if it's just everyone being on the network at the same time and at home, but if not, we will be live on Zoom again and post the link.
Yeah. So everybody have a great work. Be sure, and is it up or down or where is it at? So
it's either going to be above the link or below the link.
So please, we both have our own YouTube channels. Mine is Alder, ALDER space healing. And please like and subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell so you know when we have new things posted. And Nicole's is?
I don't know. I just got it started. But I'll find it and I'll post it, and I'll start getting on there more about the Life app and all that has to offer, and just about personal experiences and fitness. I'm still fitness certified from 2014. So reach out if you're going nuts and you need to just release some stress before you strangle your children. We don't want that. Even though CPS isn't coming, we don't want that.
And also at our center for those, because we are seeing people remotely. So we are doing Reiki sessions, intuitive readings, nutritional counseling remotely via Zoom or FaceTime or instant message. And for your first time coming in to see us, we are offering $20 off your first 1 hour session. So again, the information will be posted. So be sure and reach out. And have a blessed week. Thank you for joining us.
Thank y'all. See you next week. Same time, same day.
Well, no, 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Yeah, not 10:40, y'all. I'm so sorry. So we'll log in earlier to see if we can get it working. And if not, we will post the Zoom link by 9:55, Mom.
I don't know what she's talking about.
All right, y'all. So much love. Stay healthy. Be well. Post your questions, comments, concerns so we can focus on that next week, y'all. Bye. Thank you, Lois.